Assalamu alaikum. So welcome back. This video again is regarding the same question that we talked about earlier. The idea about this question has already been presented in the previous video, but if you notice in the previous video, the solution that you were presented with was a bit tedious. And if you notice, we have not talked about $20 or $1 bill that might be returned if in case, for example, if your the purchase that you have made is, let's say, 15.33. So in that case, obviously you will be paying more than 15, either $20 or $50. So in that case, if you're paying $50, you will not get this the maximum amount, the maximum bill that you will not that you will get back will not be $5, it will be $20, then $20, and so on and so forth. So if such a case is there, so obviously you'll have to add a bit of more lines initially before $5 for $10 and $10 likewise. But then again, if you notice, even if we cater the payment for a purchase that is made up to 15.33, let's say, whatever has been written here, if you notice, they are repetition, right? So the repetitive formula is that you find out the balance that the supermarket has to return to you, and you divide by the worth of the dollar that you need, that the bill is worth of, and then you apply the function floor on it, so you'll get the exact number of bill of that particular worth that you are going to be returned to. Same goes with the coins as well. The worth of the coins is obviously in points. So you're going to divide the remaining balance and you're going to divide with the worth of that very coin. And every time you get the dollars or the coins back, you reevaluate your remaining balance, which is done by subtracting the previous balance. How? By subtracting the total number of quantities of the dollars that were returned to you, multiply the worth of each dollar bill, and you subtract this amount from the previous balance, right? So since you notice that this is all what? Repetition. So whenever it comes to repetition, we'll always prefer loops rather than writing down all these commands repetitively, which is quite tedious and time taking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these things in a loop. How? So in the first case, the first remaining balance that the supermarket has to return to me is bill minus pay. Fine. Now what I need to get back is, I need to get, in this case, if we talk about, I need to get, let's say, D for dollars, right? I need to get $20 bill back, I need to get $10 bill back, I need to get $5 bill back, I need to get $1 bill back if possible, obviously. Then let's talk about quarters, then let's talk about dime, then let's talk about nickel, then let's talk about finally the penny. So I will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to get 8 or not all, but I need to reevaluate the same thing 8 times. So how many $20 bills will be returned? Reevaluate the new balance. How many $10 will be returned? Reevaluate the new balance. How many $5 bills will be returned? Reevaluate the new balance, so on and so forth. So I have to done the task repeatedly. Now the first balance has already been evaluated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out the number of dollar bills or the number of coins for each entity, for each of this entity of D separately. So I'm going to run down my loop. How many times? 1: length of D times. So I want to evaluate how many $20 bills I want, how many $10 bills I want, how many $5 bills I want, how many pennies do I want, so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is, the very first thing that I do is I will divide it by the worth of it. So I'm going to, let's say, C, for example. For C, I'm going to put this up, right? C, let's assign a variable C to it, and I'm saying that divide the the kth element of D by, the kth element of R, right, by the kth element of D, right? So for example, in the very first case, when the loop has not been assigned, when the loop has not started, R's by default first value has been assigned outside the loop. So when you enter the loop and when the case value in the first pass is 1, so R's 1, the first value of R is already there and D's first value is there. So I want to evaluate how many $20 bills I will get back. So I'm going to divide these two and then I'm going to floor. I'm going to put the function floor on it. And since I also want this to be saved in a vector, I'm also going to put the k, the address k here. So see, a new vector is going to be created every time the loop is run, pass by pass. In the first pass, a $20 bill will be assigned. How many? The quantities of $20. In the second pass, how many $10 bills will be assigned. In the third pass, how many $5 bills will be assigned, so on and so forth. Now in the first pass, after you're done evaluating or finding out how many exact $20 bills are being returned, now the next thing you need to do is you need to find out the new change, the new remaining balance that the supermarket has to return, right? So in that in the second pass, when the quantity of, let's say, the $10 bills is to be returned, then the new remaining balance is evaluated and not the old balance, because against the old balance already the $20 bill has been returned. So the new balance remaining balance should go up into the next vector, which I'm assigning as k plus 1, right? Which is what? The old one, which is rk, minus the dk, which is the worth of each dollar or each coin, multiply the quantity of each coin, so on and so forth. That's it. That's all what you need to do. And everything else, whatever lines we have rewritten for each coin, for each dollar, has been erased, has been wiped off. Now notice how 10 or 8 or 11 lines have been reduced to only 4. Fine, making your life a lot more easier. So I'm going to put a suppressor on here, and I'm going to ask it right here to give me, let us see. So let's run off. By the way, you are going to do this using, like I told you, according to the question, using the rand function, and obviously you're going to ask the user to enter his own bill in the form of either $1 bill, $5 bill, $10 bill. The entire question is the same. So based on these values only, so that the values are constant and they do not keep on changing because of the random entity in it. Let's see the result. So see, if I need to pay 15.33 and I'm paying $50 bill, so my change that the supermarket has to return to me is 34, right? So what the supermarket is going to do is the supermarket is going to give me back $1.20 bill. So $14 remain. Out of $14, it's going to return $1.10 bill. After it's done, now 4.6 remains. So obviously for $5, I will not get anything. I will not get a $5 ka bill because the remaining is 4.6 something. So fine. What about $1? How many $1 will I get? I will get $4 for $1 bills, right? Now remaining comes 67 cents. From 67 cents, I will get 0.25, which is quarters. 2. I will get dimes. How many? 1. I will get nickel. How many? 1. And I will get pennies. How many? 2. That's it. That's how you're going to simplify your solution. Again, I repeat, whenever it comes to repetitive tasks, always put them down, minimize them, condense them in the form of loops so that you do not have to rewrite the sentences, rewrite the commands again and again. That's it.